Hey buddies, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mara with a very beautiful face, like you can already see. If this is your first time here, you're definitely welcome. And if you're returning, you are the MVP, you already know, okay? If it's your first time here, by clicking the subscribe button, you join the MVP club. I look forward to you hitting that subscribe button and joining the family. And please do not forget to like this video, guys, because it helps my channel and helps YouTube algorithm to recommend my videos to more people that would need information like this. In this channel, I make content around beauty, lifestyle, vlogs, social media, tech sometimes, but since I moved to Canada a couple of months back, I've been doing videos around immigration tips to help international students that want to move to Canada with information that will aid their process. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys step-by-step process to apply for admission in any university in Canada. I would love to give a quick disclaimer. I am not an immigration agent or consultant. I just love to share knowledge and help people, all right? Because I was once maybe dreaming to be here like you now, and I needed information like this. So that is just strictly why I share videos like this. And I've made my research, and also via experiences of other people and myself, I come up with video ideas that I share with you guys to help you in your own journey. And as always, I always like to section my videos, okay? This video is going to be sectioned into 3 different parts. The first one is going to be the documents that you need to proceed with your admission application. The second part is going to be basically the process, what to do with those documents that you've gathered, right? And the third one is always going to be my advice section and advising you guys and telling you things to avoid and some pointers, just specific things that I feel like you might need to know during your application. The first document you're going to, of course, need to proceed with your application for admission in any university in Canada or college, of course, is going to be your transcript. That is if you're coming here as a master's student or as a PhD student. And if you're coming here as a BSc student, of course, you're going to have to get your WAEC result or your GCE, that's what they call it in Nigeria. But if you're watching me from any part of Africa or any part of the world, of course, you know what applies to your country. So you need to have something or certificate that proves your academic history, okay? So that is going to be the first thing you need to provide. The second thing you're going to need is a letter of reference or reference letters, okay? Or letter of recommendation, as the case may be. You know, for you to school here, mostly for master's student now, postgraduate student, you would need 1 or 2 people to refer you for that particular program, and it really differs by, from the school. Some schools will require 1, some schools will require 2, right? For my school, they require 2 persons, and even before I proceeded to put in my application, I already knew the people I wanted to use for my referencing, and I reached out to them. And oftentimes they are going to be like people you've had like academic histories with, maybe your lecturers, your teachers, or maybe people you work with, professional colleagues, or your boss, that you've shared professional relationship with. For graduate students, the school would probably ask you also for your resume or your CV showing your work experiences. That also gives them the opportunity to understand why you're going for that course. Maybe you have experiences in that field, so they would want to also see that. And they would also maybe ask you again for graduate letter of intent, why you've chosen the program you've chosen, and of course why the school you are coming to. For undergraduate students, the school might ask you to provide what they call gap. It's just for you to explain what you've been doing since you left your secondary school, or if you have years that you've not done anything about school, they might also ask you to provide that. Some schools might ask for English proficiency test, but if you're in Nigeria, most times this is waived for most Nigerians because they understand that Nigerians speak English and English is our official language. I think the school might ask you is WES evaluation, for you to go for WES evaluation. This mostly applies for graduate students that are coming for their master's or their PhD, and it's not all the schools that require WES evaluation, okay? And it's not also all programs that require WES evaluation. My program, which is sociology in the University of Regina, did not require me to go for WES evaluation, right? But I had a friend that was coming for a different program, and they asked her to do WES evaluation. So you need to have that at the back of your mind, so that you're not like, what is this, when you see them request for WES evaluation of your result. WES is World Education System. Send your result there and they evaluate it and get back to the school. That way the school trusts that your system, or rather the result that you have, kind of equates to a certain to what they expect you to have in the Canadian, education system. I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but yes, I think you understand what I'm saying. Recently, schools now ask for international passport. I think when I submitted my application, I was asked for my international passport. So just so because they want to be sure that this person has an international passport, so that when they issue you your application or your admission and you get your visa, you're able to travel. Because some people go ahead and apply for to get admission in schools without even having an international passport. How do you want to do that? How do you want to even travel to the country without an international passport? So you might need to have that at the back of your mind, that schools might also ask you to upload the data page of your international passport. Of course, the final thing you would also need to submit, this time not really submit, but you have to pay, okay, application fee. You have to pay for the admission. Most schools in Canada, would require you to pay admission fee. It's standard, all right, and it's non-refundable. For my school, University of Regina, I paid $100 as at the time I put in my application for admission. It will differ for different schools. So let's move to the second part of the video, which is the application process itself. Okay, so the first thing you would want to do, or you might want to do, is to search for a school or a course that you want to study, right? Just choose a school, and I'm going to tell you guys how you can go about that and the factors that might influence your decision. At this point, I might be looking down a lot. You guys already know that once I have this laptop, it's serious business, right? And we are not joking, okay? So one of the factors that you might want to consider when picking a school might be the location, the province. Where do you want to move to? What reasons do you have to want to move to that province? Do you have somebody that you feel like might aid your transitioning into that province or into Canada? And you might say, oh, I have someone in BC, let me just move to BC. I have someone in Saskatchewan, let me move to Saskatchewan. I have someone in Alberta, let me move to Alberta. So those things kind of for me now, I'm also talking based on my personal experience. These things kind of framed the decision to move to Saskatchewan, okay? So just decide on the location or the province you want to move to. Is going to make the search for a school and course also easier for you. You might also want to consider tuition fee, right? I know that most Nigerians moving to Canada now, most people just want to run away from the hardship in Nigeria. Let's face it, okay? So you might also need to consider the tuition fee. I did that. I considered the tuition fee because I'm not going to come here and pay too much money to go to school. Let me be honest, okay? I'm not going to do that. I wasn't going to do that, except if that course is really what you want. Of course you can, and if you can afford it, go for it. But to me, tuition was a very important factor, all right? And that was one of the reasons why I chose University of Regina. I'm going to make a video talking about affordable schools that you can come to in Canada, all right? You might also need to check requirements and eligibility. Some schools, you have to have some qualifications or meet some criteria for you to be admitted in that particular program. So you might also need to do that. We will get to how you can trace or find out the requirements in the subsequent part of this video. But also, once you determine the school, which we are going to get to too, just go ahead to the website, search for the program, and of course you're going to see the list of requirements and what makes you eligible, and then you can apply for this course, or you might need to look for another course or another school. Also, look at your academic background. It is going to help you determine the course to go for. Remember, in this section now, we are talking about choosing a school and choosing a program. I started to pick discuss two of them together, because I feel like they work hand in hand. You need to, marry them together somehow, because I can't just talk about choosing a school and talk about choosing a course differently. I just want to talk about them together. That way, it kind of helps you to understand it. So when you are picking a course, you have to understand your own academic background. Do you understand? You cannot, let's say you have a first degree in public administration and you want to come to Canada and you all of a sudden want to do health admin. They don't relate. They're not even in the same faculty. There is no family to that. So you have to be sure that you streamline your search into what fits your professional experience and your academic background. Another thing you might want to consider, which I also consider, is cost of living. There are provinces that are really high, that are really expensive, that housing is so expensive, things are so expensive there. So you want to also do your research and find out provinces that are cheaper. Saskatchewan is a relatively cheap province, okay? So yeah, and I love cheap things, and that is one of the reasons why I'm here. I mean, when you're done with your program, you can always move to your dream province. Maybe you might even land a job in your dream province. The final factor for this section, which is not the least, which I also feel like is like the most important, is to make sure that the institution you are picking is a DLI institution, designated learning institution. I'm going to have the link to the list of schools that are designated learning institutions in the description box. Make sure to check that out. It is also going to guide you when it comes to choosing a school. So I'm going to be telling you guys the best ways to like search for a school. Apart from word of mouth, if you know someone that's already in Canada and maybe they recommend a school to you and you feel like, oh, you want to try that school because a family or a friend is in that school, there is also another way that you can, if you don't, let's assume you don't know anybody, you are new into the system of moving to Canada, you don't even know anything. There are some websites that can help you to determine what school and what programs to go for. I'm going to be looking at and telling you guys those websites, and I'm very sure that you're going to find something that is going to be useful to you in those websites. The first here would be schoolfinder.com. I'm going to have them on the screen, okay? Go through schoolfinder.com. I'm definitely sure you're going to see something that would aid you in picking a school and a course. The second one will be educanada.ca. all right? It can help you find universities that offer your program, okay? So go through educanada.ca if you can. In fact, if you can go through all the websites that I'm going to mention, of course, so that you have a lot of options, okay? It can help you find your program and the cost, of course. The third website that I'm going to mention here is going to be universitystudy.ca, okay? Go through that website. I'm also sure you're going to find something that can help you. It's going to help you compare universities. It's also going to help you search for programs, so that you can make some comparisons and determine what actually you want to go for. Of course, that is very, very important. And the last one that I'm going to mention for this section is studyincanada.com, okay? So I already gave you guys 4 websites that you can go through that can help you determine the university you want to go to, courses you want to take, or a course you want to take, okay? And can also help you determine maybe the cost of schooling in that university and every other information that will be so important to you even before you go ahead to put in your admission application. I hope this section of the video helps you, okay? So after you've chosen the school you want to go to, of course, maybe also using the websites that I've mentioned to compare schools, and you've come up with University of Regina, for instance, and now you want to apply. Now you're ready to get into the process, okay? The first thing I would advise you to do is to prepare your paperwork, all right? If you've not seen my video on how I got my Canadian visa approved in 10 days, I really advise you see that video, because I talked about taking my time to gather my documents. It is very important because it just helps you. Once you start the process, you just kick it, like there is no stop, except if you have some things that you have to fix along the line. I would also always advise that you have all your paperwork, all your documents ready before you actually start the process proper, so that you just get it done with, okay? So you might need to write your letter of motivation. Most schools would have offered you, like, giving you what to write about. They will give you like pointers, the things they might need you to write, the things they want to see in your letter of motivation. They might ask, why do you want to study public administration? Why public admin? Why University of Regina? And those kind of questions. So it already gives you an idea of what they expect. So you might want to write that down and keep it. And secondly, also get your portfolio or maybe your CV, every other thing that you think would aid your process. If you're coming for your master's, they will definitely ask for your graduate CV and your resume, so you might also want to get that ready. So what else do you have to get ready? Of course, your transcript, your WAEC result if you don't have it, so you get it from your school and all of that. Just do your paperwork. If you need to take English proficiency exam, which I don't really, it doesn't per se apply so much to most Nigerians, but just in case your school is asking for that, make sure you go and take your exam and you know that everything is ready, okay? Let's also talk about the international passport. International passport in Nigeria takes a long time for it to be ready, okay? So you might need to also start early, so that once you're ready to put in an application, everything is already ready for you to like jump into the process. The next point is going to be, make sure you are aware of the specific admission requirements for that particular program you're going for. The good thing is that most schools in Canada here, like, they are so active, and like they respond to emails fast. So make use of the school's website as much as you can, all right? And the international section, they always have international sections for international students, because they know that they have a lot of international students. So always reach out to them to ask questions when you have to, okay? When you are confused about anything, just email the school. Of course, when you've chosen a school, the next thing would be for you to know the school's website. If you want to come to the University of Regina, is uregina.ca, all right? So you already know the school's website. You just explore this, take your time and explore the school's website, go through the tuition, everything, because the website I mentioned, of course, would help you, but getting information also from the school website itself is, like, I mean, perfect. Where is best for you to get information if not from the horse's mouth, right? So explore that website as much as you can, and always feel free to email the school, because they are going to always have the necessary emails that you might need to consult at any given period of your application. So of course, when you've chosen your school now, and you've done your paperwork, and you've done like underground check about specific requirements for your course, now it is time for you to put in your application. You create your portal, and then you just take off on the process. At every stage, you will see, like, it's very easy. They're going to take you through step by step. Okay, now you're supposed to upload your letter of intent, now you're supposed to submit your international passport, now you're supposed to write your gap, and all those good stuff, right? So it's just a process, and you get to the part where you submit your admission, and then you pay for your admission fee. Okay, it's as simple as that, really. This whole moving to Canada thing is not rocket science. It's just like, I feel like most people are scared. I was scared at the initial stage, but once I decided that this is what I wanted, and I put all my heart to it, I started researching. So all the information you need is online. My channel and a lot of other people have YouTube channel where you can learn. So just go ahead and put in your admission. It's not a biggie, okay? Don't be scared, and just have faith that it's going to work. So now, after you put in your application for your admission, the next thing you will do is to wait. All right, normally standard time for processing admission for international students to come into Canada is always between 1 month to 3 months. All right, if you're coming to university. For a college, I heard it's around like 1 month to 2 months. Okay, so you just have to be patient. And lately, immigration has gotten like really tougher, because a lot of people want to move to Canada. Let's be honest. Okay, a lot of people want to come here, so processing admission and visa is now taking longer than it used to be. So I heard, when I put in my own admission, I actually got my response in about a month, 2 weeks. Yeah, it was not really up to 2 weeks, a month and a week or so. So yeah, but I heard that it's taking way longer now, because they have a lot of applications that they have to review. So just be patient, and at this point is where you also start praying and hoping for the best for your own application. I also always advise that you give at least 8 to 12 months gap when you are applying for your admission. Let's say you want to come here what do I say now, winter of 2024, which is around December 2023 and January 2024. I would advise you start your admission early, maybe in the January of 2023, or just not later than March, so that you have enough time to wait to get a response from the school, and also have enough time to process your visa, because coming to visa is also another serious situation on its own. So you want to have enough time, and if by chance you get your admission and your visa is being delayed, just always know that you can always email the school and let them know. And if it gets delayed for further too long, the school will always be willing to defer your admission to, like, of course, different schools with different rules, but just know that they'll be willing to defer your admission. Just always communicate them. Just like I already mentioned, the school's website should be the love of your life, okay? And also, when they give you your admission, let's assume you've gotten your admission now. After a couple of months, you get your admission. Your admission letter is going to contain every single step you're supposed to take next. The people you're supposed to email, if you're supposed to send an email to so and so person to submit so and so, admission letter you get will give you further information about what to do. And also bear in mind that some schools might require you to pay a certain amount for tuition deposit before they actually give you the unconditional offer, because some schools might send you conditional offer, meaning that, okay, we are giving you this offer until you pay a certain amount of money to actually secure your spot or your slot. I know a program in University of Regina that does that, public administration. I have someone that is trying to get into the program, and they are asking that he should pay a certain amount of money to secure his slot. I don't blame them, because some people apply to different schools and they will end up not coming. And then, you know, some schools, they already have like a number of students that they want in a certain class and in a certain semester. So if they don't see you, they've missed that spot, because a lot of people are also applying to come here. Okay, and that money, it is some schools say it is refundable if you don't get your visa. Some schools will tell you it's non-refundable, but when you start your program, it would be minus. Let's say you've paid 1,000 Canadian dollars and your program is 10,000 Canadian dollars. I'm just giving an instance, don't be scared, okay? Then they will just minus that 1,000 Canadian dollars. All you have to pay for the rest of the semester would be 9,000. I hope that makes sense. So you have to also have that at the back of your mind, that it might come up at a point, okay? Also know that some of the documents that I've mentioned here is like what most schools in Canada would ask for, but just know that different schools, different courses, and different departments and faculties might also ask for specific documents, right? So just be ready for it. Most of the schools would ask for the document that I already mentioned and maybe nothing more, but just in case they do, because situations differ for different schools and different courses, always feel free to submit it. And know that if you're not able to qualify for a particular course in a particular university, you can qualify for it in a different university, okay? So do not be discouraged. I encourage you to like push your dreams if coming to Canada is what you want, and always just pray about everything, your application. If you don't believe in God, whatever you believe in, if you're not a Christian, whatever religion you subscribe to, pray and just put it in the hands of God. And I just encourage you, and I really want to see you here, okay? I don't want to be the only person here. I want to see more Black people here. So that is also why my channel is here, to help you guys navigate through that system. Feel free to leave your comment in the comment section. I've seen really good people that also help to reply people's comment. Thank you guys, keep it up. Please, if you have more information that I've mentioned, leave it in the comment section. There are people that are watching my video that are even more experienced than myself. Please help me to answer some of the comments, because it really gets overwhelming sometimes, and I really want to answer people's questions and as much as I can, because I know that they are asking these questions based on their own personal journey. So if you can help answer some of these questions, I love you. You guys already know, but I love you so much, and thank you for watching. At this point, if you're not subscribed to my channel and you've consumed all this content, it actually means that you actually like this content. If you've consumed it to this point, I think it's the right time for you to subscribe and support me. But even if you don't really enjoy this kind of videos, just support your girl, okay? And I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Do not forget to like this video so that it will get to more people that need it. Let me excuse you right now. See you guys soon. Bye bye.